Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have the video you guys have been waiting to see. Today we're going to be testing the cameras not only on the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but also on the iPhone 12 and, wait for it, on the iPhone 12 Pro. These are Apple's brand new top-of-the-line smartphones, so today we're going to be testing them throughout the streets of New York and seeing whether or not these cameras are actually a huge improvement. Obviously, we have three different types of phones here. They have similar camera spec, however, they're not exactly identical, but today we're just going to do a couple of side-by-side comparisons so that you guys can see an in-depth look at what these cameras are capable of. We got my boys with me behind the camera, so yeah, let's get shooting. Camera on the 12 Pro Max. This is internal audio, everything is coming straight out of camera. Honestly, it looks pretty crisp. It's definitely not going to be as stable as I'm walking, but let's flip the camera and check out the stabilization. All right, if we're talking about the cameras between the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max, there aren't a ton of noticeable differences. Obviously, you have the exact same layout with the three camera system where one of them is going to be an ultra wide, the second one is going to be a normal wide lens, and the third one is going to be a telephoto. Although Apple hasn't exactly specified, from my initial test, I would definitely say that the ultra wide on both of these cameras are very comparable. However, when you do get to the wide camera, that's where the Pro Max actually has a little bit of an edge because it has a bigger sensor that allows more light to be captured and enhances the looks of your photo. When it comes to the telephoto, the 12 Pro Max also has an edge over the 12 Pro because this actually has a 2.5x zoom, whereas this one only has a 2x zoom. For your average consumer, that might not be the most important aspect when it comes to finding a camera for your phone. However, if you're a vlogger and you use your phone on a daily basis to capture videos, that 2.5x zoom is going to be very handy to get a little bit closer on your subjects. In addition to that, the Pro Max actually has something called sensor shift stabilization, which essentially stabilizes the sensor in the camera so that you get the best non-shaky footage straight out of camera. It's honestly very impressive. Just walking with this phone handheld honestly makes it look like a gimbal. You film it in 60 frames per second to get that slow motion, and you now have a very capable camera of filming videos. So in all honesty, those are the main differences between these two cameras. But right now we're going to be testing out the stabilization so you guys can see how good the Pro Max really is. Let's get to it. All right, right now the phone is on a gimbal, so it's going to be a lot more improved than shooting on handheld. All right, so right now I'm testing out the telephoto lens on this camera. When it comes to portrait mode, these two cameras are performing very similarly. You're not gonna be able to tell substantial differences between the Pro and the Pro Max. As you can see from these photos of Isaiah, the 2.5x zoom actually has a much tighter crop. For me personally, I definitely think the 2.5x zoom is well worth the upgrade if you're getting the Pro Max. All right, so you guys just saw the footage and photos shot on the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. As you saw from the footage, the only noticeable difference on the 12 Pro Max is that you're getting that 2.5x optical zoom as well as a sensor shift stabilization. If you're a pro level consumer and you really want to get the most out of your cameras, then yes, the Pro Max is going to be worth the investment and it's going to be a great vlogging camera that is highly capable of taking great photos and videos. However, for the average consumer, the iPhone 12 Pro is still very capable of capturing great photos and videos. You can shoot in 4K up to 60 frames per second, and the image quality you get from both phones is still very good. Obviously, the the only downside of the 12 Pro Max is going to be the bigger size, the heavier weight, and higher price tag. So do I think it's worth the upgrade? Well, if you're upgrading from something like the iPhone 10 series or lower, then yes, it's most definitely going to be well worth it because you're not only getting the ultra wide lens, but you're also getting the telephoto lens. However, if you're upgrading from the iPhone 11 series, it may not be the most practical investment given that these cameras are very similar. However, this is still an early review. I haven't had too much time to play around with these cameras. So let me know what you guys thought down below. Can you guys see an actual difference between the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max? And do you think it's worth the upgrade? For me personally, I still haven't decided which phone is going to be the best daily driver, given that I usually travel with a professional camera as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a like down below. Comment what other videos you guys want to see comparing the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. And as always, guys, let's build. Peace.